For millennia, humanity has searched for the fundamental rules governing the universe, but some researchers are looking elsewhere, inside ancient texts. The Hebrew language is the original structure used to record the majority of the Old Testament. When analyzed beyond its surface translation, it reveals a deeply ordered numeric framework. At the core of this framework is a specific count. The entire Hebrew alphabet consists of exactly 22 letters. This number repeats systematically throughout the scriptures. Psalm 119 is divided into exactly 22 sections. The description of the virtuous woman in Proverbs 31 follows a strict 22-verse acrostic pattern. Because the original text was transmitted through an alphabet of exactly 22 letters, the number itself establishes the boundary of that language. From the first letter to the last, it forms a complete structure for communication. We have to ask if this repeating structure is a literary device used by ancient authors, or if it functions as a cipher. The search for that answer begins at the very first sentence of creation, Genesis 1:1. In its original Hebrew form, this single opening statement is built with precise symmetry. It contains exactly 7 words and a total of 28 letters. It is an opening declaration of order. It lays down a mathematical and linguistic foundation before the rest of the text even unfolds. This brings us to Hebrew Gematria. In this ancient system, there are no separate symbols for numbers. Every single letter inherently possesses a specific numerical value. When you add the numerical values of the letters in Genesis 1:1, the sum is exactly 2,701. The Greek Gematria for the New Testament's corresponding verse, John 1:1, yields 3,627. Adding these foundational values totals 6,328, the 112th triangular number. In Hebrew, 112 means Lord God. We are looking at mathematical alignment between two distinct texts, written in different languages, separated by hundreds of years. This graphic introduces the work of researcher Stephen White. His hypothesis tests what happens when these specific gematria values are applied directly to the physical constants of the universe. This summary defines the research methodology. By extracting the mathematical products of the individual letters and words from Genesis 1:1 and John 1:1, White constructed a series of equations. The goal was to see if the mathematics governing these earthly texts had any correlation to the forces governing the cosmos. If a correlation exists, it moves the study of these numbers out of the realm of textual analysis and into the literal mechanics of reality. The calculations yielded specific results. The equations derived from the biblical text matched the fundamental constants of physics, including the square of the golden ratio, phi, and Planck's constant. This chart displays the error margins of those results. The calculation for the fine structure constant aligns with an error margin of just 0.001%. What makes this anomaly even sharper is that Planck's constant relies on the metric system. Metric units were not developed until the 17th century, yet these values are emerging from equations built on texts that are thousands of years old. The precision of these outputs strains the limits of statistical probability. The data suggests these physical laws were deliberately encoded into the text. This brings us back to the source of the math. In biblical theology, the Creator is defined as an unchanging, permanent constant, the same stability found in the numbers that define the universe. This concept of fixed authority connects back to the recurring number 22. In Isaiah 22:22, the text describes the key of David, a symbol of the power to open or shut access to the kingdom. In this context, the key is the governing authority over both spiritual access and the very physical constants that allow nature to exist. These physical constants emerge directly from a Hebrew text rooted in ancient Jerusalem. The same linguistic structure that defined the record of creation also calculates the forces of the cosmos. The data reveals a mathematically perfect masterpiece. Creation is a deliberate construction, authored by the same supreme source that holds authority over its laws.